Most parents created the trauma that you deal with in your adulthood. Hear me out. A lot of times you didn't have a voice as a child because you was never heard. You was never taking time to be understood. You just got your butt whooped for any and everything. You just got fussed at for any and everything. Nobody ever took time to hear you out or listen to you.
The one thing I pride myself on as a father is making sure that when I disciplined my son when he was younger, that I gave him a reason on why he was getting disciplined. Now, I never actually had to be physical, but in times where we had to have uncomfortable conversations, I've always let him know, this is why your pops is frustrated right now. This is why your dad is disappointed in you. This is why I'm feeling how I'm feeling. This is the energy that you're receiving right now because of what you've done. And another thing, too, that I pride myself on as a father, and he will tell you, is that my dad always allowed me to voice my opinion. Even to this day, I check on him and make sure if it's anything you want to talk about, express yourself. I'm big on being expressive because I never was, and I regret situations where I should have been. But since that was never presented to me, then I just never knew anything about it until I got older and realized, oh, wow, okay, this is how I'm able to express myself. I don't have to do it through being upset and being angry or just letting it out violently. I can actually express myself through words and articulate myself. It took a long time to get to that point, but I knew that I didn't want my son to go through what I went through. So I made sure that I nipped that in the bud immediately. Always give your kids a voice and a chance and an opportunity to express themselves. And I'm not talking about let them paint their nails expressive. I'm not saying let them dress crazy expressive. I'm talking about using your words, especially as young men.
Because they felt like they're the adult. They shouldn't have to listen to you. And that's where the disconnect come in. Because most kids feel as if they don't have a right to speak up for themselves because their parents feel as if we're older than you and we take care of you. So we don't have to listen to how you feel about something. You don't have a right to have a voice. And that creates a trauma in your adulthood when you get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? It makes you shut down. It makes you feel like
not only in relationships, in every other situation in life, a confrontation with a friend, a situation at your job. You know what I mean? Every aspect of life, every dynamic you can think of in life, it all can stem from the trauma that your parent put up on you. Like that, we're not thinking clearly. And can we fully blame our parents if they were never taught that? Because yes, there's generational trauma passed down for sure. There's generational traits that have been carried out, and we cannot just say, oh, our parents are the reason. I'm sure it's a whole lineage. I'm sure it's a whole generation before them and before them. And nobody was able to check and correct it. But I'm here to say that you have the chance and opportunity to do it as a parent of today. It's too many resources for us to know what it's like to actually talk to our kids. You can go in here and learn how to speak to your kids and learn how to effectively be a better parent. That is so important. So yes, our parents did what they did, but also we have to show grace. We have to give that, or just have that uncomfortable conversation with your mom or dad and be like, hey, can we sit down and let's just talk about this?
As if what you say doesn't matter because as a child, what you said never mattered. So you go into your adulthood feeling the same way, incompetent, you know what I'm saying? So our parents create the trauma in our adulthood, the abuse at home, getting whooped if you didn't get the question right when you was doing your homework, you know what I'm saying? Get popped in your head because you asked a question and they mad, they angry. So a lot of times your parents was dealing with trauma and they didn't know how to really express themselves the only way.
Yeah, and their behavior is prepping you to reflecting the actions of what you've seen your whole life. I've only seen my mom or dad act like this when they're upset. That's the only way I know how to act when I'm upset. I don't know how to actually be reasonable. I don't know how to actually be calm when I'm speaking. I only know about violence. I only know about yelling. I don't know how to be a clear thinking, level-headed, I don't know how to be smooth, or I don't know how to be a soothing, calm spirit with the way I approach certain things. I only know chaotic, being frantic. I only know chaos because of my parents. I only know to beat my kid because I was getting beat. I only know to talk reckless to my partner because my mom and dad talk reckless to me. I seen my mom and dad talk reckless to each other. We're molding our kids to be these adults. And once they're adults and they pick up on the traits that we're showing and teaching them, it's going to be amplified to the max. And once you get stuck in your ways, there's no rearranging and changing it. You're too far gone.
They express themselves by being violent towards you, by being narcissistic towards you, by being mentally abusive towards you. So that created a trauma inside of you that you got to live with in your adulthood. So many people are struggling with this disease in society today because most parents didn't know how to regulate their emotions. All they did was take out their emotions on their children. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the pain of what the husband did to her if you the child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like most adults create the trauma in their children that they got to live with in their adulthood.
That's very true. But I want to say this. Although our parents did what they did to us, they showed us, wrong ways. And a lot of our parents showed us right ways. But what we can't do as adults is void the time that we have in order to change the wrongs that and it's hard. I know it's extremely hard to try to right the wrongs of our parents. That effect is there and it's traumatic and it hurts and it makes you want to cry and it makes you want to be resentful towards your parents. But that time that we have to ourselves, we should be working on removing that, especially if we see cause and effect. If we know what we're doing is causing this problem to our partners, to our friends, at jobs, losing jobs because you're short-tempered, because of how your parents raised you, you need to work on how can I fix this so I don't have to continue to live my life with this trauma that I'm holding on to. How can I remove myself from being this person that I've been being these whole years, which is why I haven't got anywhere, which is why I don't want to go out and branch out and try new things, which is why I can't make friends, which is why my relationships don't last, which is why I can't keep a job, which is why I can't keep homes and apartments and cars and my finances is terrible. Nobody ever taught me, okay, you have the time to teach yourself. Don't continue to lean on the mistakes that your parents made. They made the mistakes that they made. Okay, cool. If you have every limb, if you're able to wake up, you're still healthy, you got an opportunity to change the wrongs. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying that it's not impossible and it is doable. That's all I'm saying. So just remember that.
That's not your mother cursing you out. That's your mother's mother cursing you out. What that comment essentially means is parents have generational trauma too. It doesn't just end with us. This comes from parents cursing us out, blaming us for things that we didn't do, saying things that they know they can't take back, and overall, of course, never apologizing for what they know they're wrong for. Even though I know a lot of things come from our parents, our parents still know right from wrong. Our parents still know how they felt when their father and mother did that to them. And call me out if I'm wrong, but this is the hypothesis I came up with. Our parents do a lot of the bad things that their parents did to them because they know they could get away with it. And even though they feel a little bit bad, they feel a little bit good because in a way they're reviving their old childhood selves. Call me crazy. I remember one time one of my family members came over, right? They were one of those family members that pick on little kids for no reason. They were always just fixated on what that little kid was doing so they could correct them and feel a little bit powered. I remember Bertha came upstairs, right? All the kids were watching TV upstairs, not bothering nobody. We were upstairs. So now what does Big Bertha do? Big Bertha comes to little Jenna. I remember when Big Bertha said something about my past, I'm like, well, why are you bringing that up? And Big Bertha said, and I quote, I was just trying to get a rise out of you. Why are you trying to get a rise out of me? I'm not doing anything. Boom. Smacked me right here in my lip. And it was.
I got a similar story to that. It's not exactly the same. But I had older cousins when I was younger, like rough me up a little bit, right? Call me the N-word, push me around. And I know in their mind, they like, we're building you to be a young man. But again, what I said in the last clip, it's like, if you are doing this to me and you're not giving me reasons on why, if you're not really, truly, sincerely breaking down the reasons on why you're doing this, or if you're just doing this roughing me up stuff with no love behind it, it kind of creates me to think, or just kids overall, that this is how I'm supposed to show love. I'm supposed to only be rough. This is the thing that I be talking about with, the excessive or the over the top thing that we do with us being older men, being around younger men. We don't always have to be aggressive. There's things that we could do to mold them to be great young men and still be physical. My son is in phenomenal shape. My son looks amazing physically. He was on a wrestling team. He played football. And I did all of that without having to literally be physical with him. And even if we wrestled a little bit, or even if I, put on the gloves and we did a little fun stuff, or he hit the mitts, it was always reasons behind why we're doing this. And it was always encouragement behind it. So if you're just roughing a young boy up, and then you a little N-word. He'll be all right. He'll be straight. Without no love behind it, without no encouragement behind it, what do you think you're doing to that child's brain? What do you think you're doing to his mindset when it comes to behavioral things? You're damaging him. You're creating a young monster. But if that's what you've been taught and that's how you've been treated, you're only reciprocating that, and now your way of love is that. That's the only way you know how to operate when you're around younger men, because you were treated like that.
The part of her hand that had her ring on it, Big Bertha. And I looked to the other kid was in the room, and the other kid shook her head. She was like, you did not deserve that. She even said she was trying to get a rise out of you. She did that because her parents did that to her. Some of my family members don't apologize or know how to take accountability because their great-great-grandparents, the people who they went up to, they don't know nothing about apologizing to a child. A child is still a person, and they're going to grow up to hate you one day. So you better be careful. It's not right for parents to curse us out. It's not right for our parents to allow our aunties, uncles, and uncles to say they're going to slap a child. It's not fair for all these micro, macro, and passive aggressions to go towards a child. So when I hear somebody come up to me, oh, my daddy said this, it hurts my feelings. Oh, my mama said they didn't want kids. Oh, my mama said it's F me and call me a B word and call me a hoe. That is not right. I wouldn't even say give them grace, but give them an understanding, because that's probably what's been passed down to them and they don't know what to do with all that hurt. I look at this person and I feel bad for the child that they were when this was happening to them. I'm going to be the child that breaks this passing of generational hurt.
Absolutely, 100%. That's real. And just to touch back on what I was talking about, that cousin of mine, that family member of mine that would do that to me, well, one of them actually became an adult. And of course, I started working out and I got a little stronger or whatever. And I had an encounter with him when I went back out to my home state, which is California. And he gave me that, oh, what's up, cousin? And it was kind of like, you know how you push your family. I'm like, oh, what's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. So I gave him a push back. But when I pushed him back, I don't think he was expecting the strength that I had behind it. And, of course, street life, been in prison before, short tempered. And I think he was on drugs that night. He ended up pulling a gun out on me and it just went left. You know what I mean? So that's another one of those things where it can mess with you psychologically. It really can hurt you and damage you. And that'll be a thing that I will never forget. That's always an idea when I think about that specific cousin that I can never remove from my mind. And luckily, thank God it didn't go left. Thank God he didn't pull the trigger, because I was amped up too. I was thinking I'm Billy Bad, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, come outside, put the gun down, come outside, let's get cracking. You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind was. It wasn't, oh, cousin, please, I love you, don't do this to me. It wasn't that. I'm short-tempered, not knowing how to express myself, not knowing how to move, and be strategic and be smart and be wise. And not only think for myself, but think for him, because maybe nobody showed him how to resolve situations. Nobody ever gave him that love when he's trying to, put up this whole gangster persona. It's like sometimes they say fight fire with fire, but I believe if I would have met him with kindness, love, and embraced his aggressive energy, it would have turned him down. And it also would have reframed his mindset in the way he thinks. Because I'm family, bro. It should have never escalated and went to where it went to, but it did. But I'm happy it didn't go past that. You know what I'm saying? So that trauma ish be crazy, and it's strong within our family because we hold our family so near and dear to our heart. And we would never think, the pain and the suffering would come from family members, but that's where it comes from the most.
Like, I know you not coming from a standpoint of you trying to be disrespectful to people, but some people don't understand you how I understand you, so you might have to correct yourself. So I literally had a conversation with my mom. I was like, okay, I'm finna tell you stuff and stop me when I get disrespectful. I express my feelings, but that don't happen with everybody. And so when I was standing up here and you guys were like, don't belittle your children, but the whole statement of you're not on my level sounds like belittlement to us. It's saying you don't have as much value as me. You're not as important to me. You don't put up what I put up, so you can't have a say so in what we do. You don't pay bills. You don't own this house. You don't pay for nothing.
And think about what that does to a kid like her, a kid that's very expressive. She's obviously super advanced for her age. I don't know how old she is, but even if she was a younger kid, you have kids that know what's going on. They know what's going on. excuse me, Apple got me choked up. You got kids that are super intelligent and they're really advanced for their age. So body language, sounds you make, the things you say to them, they're retaining all of these things. And you may not think that they're old enough. You may think you're up here, but a lot of these kids are so far past adults that it's crazy. It's scary. That's why when people have little babies, I always pay attention to how they are around the kids. And it scares me sometimes that people think that it's okay for kids to do certain things or listen to certain music and just to be around certain energy because they're absorbing all of that. And the moment you try to mute a kid or you try to make a kid feel like they're not human, for an intelligent kid, that does something to them. That hurts in a different way. And again, if they're impressionable and they love you and they look up to you, you're their parent. So it hurts a billion times more when they feel like they're not heard, they're not seen, and they're not valued or appreciated.
So, and it's
that's good.
And it.
Go ahead.
And when you bring up the stuff that you do for your children, it makes us feel like a burden. It makes us feel like I can't wait till I grow up so I don't have to be a burden to you anymore. If you say it's like when people be like your parents had a life before you, it makes you feel like I made you so miserable and bitter and like I just don't want to be here anymore because you don't want me to be here anymore. So
Kids didn't ask to be here. And again, I'm gonna keep reiterating. This goes back to me saying, explain to your kids these things when they're in trouble, even down to when you purchase them something. Let them know why. So now they have a different understanding of life on being appreciative or when they're receiving something or what it means to receive a gift. All of that stuff is extremely important. And most people, they don't think about that. You're yelling at your kid. After you yell at your kid, explain to them why you were upset. Follow that with love. I love you. This is why I felt how I felt. Stop acting like you too big to do that to your kid because you're the adult and it's just supposed to be this way. No. Now you're leaving your kid boxed in with certain things. Now their mind is not even developed. You're grooming your kid to be a functional adult without you. Y'all don't get that. Y'all are creating these kids to be relying on you or to be sheltered to certain ideas and things. Like, oh man, it trips me out. It's so much psychological, damage that we do. And it's so much of a psychological block also too that we put on our kids that we don't realize we do.
why should I be here and put my best foot forward if the person who gave birth to me and made me come in this life doesn't want me? How am I supposed to look at somebody else for love if I feel like I'm not getting love at home? What do you do when you want to have somebody to talk to, but they like, you can't talk to them? You go to somebody else to talk to, and that's not who you want us to talk to. How am I supposed to come and talk to you and you don't listen to me, but somebody else may listen to me, but they not gonna treat me how you want me to be treated? You love me, but you don't show it. But they don't love me, but they act like they love me. So,
oh my gosh, I can say so much right now. And this is why kids go out and seek validation from friends, from men, from women, from the internet, from the wrong places and the wrong spaces. And then when they gravitate towards doing negative stuff because the person that was listening to me, they're into negative stuff. So now guess what I'm going to do? I'm following behind that person because I owe them loyalty. Although they in the gang, although my friend may be a fast tail girl and she may be showing herself on the internet or whatever the case may be, but that's my friend. And what she doing, I got to back her up or I got to participate in it because my mom don't show me the same love that my friend do. And despite my friend being a quote unquote bad person, they're a great friend to me and I owe them loyalty just because of that.
I'm going to go to the person that acts like they love me and not the person who I'm going to go to the person who acts like they love me. Because when you grow up like this and you grow up with people who emotionally stunt your growth, you go looking for other people and you insecure. You go looking for other people for sex, for people who going to tell you, oh, you're pretty. That's why the first person to tell you you're pretty, I'm glad my mama never. They say your parent and your family is your first bully. Point out every insecurity you have, and then you want your kids to feel beautiful and smart and go to school with people who telling them the same thing you tell them. That's not going to work. You can't You can't want to be your children's love and shelter, but you're not that. That's materialistic things. If God was only materialistic to you, you will feel hurt. You need to have your spirit be healed. You need to have your spirit be fed. It's okay to have clothes and shoes and all this stuff, but what about my spirit? What about my emotions? What about my mental state? You can't be, you look pretty on the outside. You got me nice shoes. You got me nice things, but I'm struggling on the inside. Some people want to commit suicide, but they look good on the outside. Y'all focus on
take care of the exterior as much as you taking care of the interior. Oh my God. I'm gonna let her cook. I don't really gotta say nothing. She's on fire right now. I wish I knew her act. Oh my God.
the outside so much that you don't take the time. You say you listen to your children, but 9 times out of 10, you're not really listening because we don't feel safe. You say you create a safe space, but that's 9 times out of 10 is not true. Because even though my parents never hit me or they never threatened to hit me, they words hurt even worse. When you telling me, you never say you disappointed in me, but your body language show it all. You look at me like I'm just like you can't believe you raised this. Some people say to tell kids, I can't believe I raised somebody like this. Well, if you raised me so beautifully that you shared you is, how come I ended up like this? It's a lot of things that go into having a kid, and some people end up resenting their kids when they have them too young or they have them with the wrong person. And some people just realize that sometimes it's too late to recognize the trauma, because when you get older and I don't have to spend time with you, how often do you see me? When I don't have to live with you no more, how often do you see me? When I have some people get jobs, some people hang out with friends' house because they don't want to go home, and you refuse to recognize that you yourself have caused your child's trauma, whether you want to admit it or not. And that's the issue.
Hey, listen, I wish I knew her man. I would give her all the glory and all the praise. I don't know her age. I'm not quite sure, but that was well said. Well-spoken young lady, great mindset, and kudos and praises to her. God bless that young lady for sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say. She said everything. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Hello or goodbye. Talk to me. Do not yell at me. We elevating until we hit our head. We ain't bleeding yet. Spread love, not hate. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. Be great. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. We're going to keep growing and keep growing. All right, gone.